Hello.
Hi. Hey.
Sorry.
It's the last line to Noobs Men.
Welcome
It's us.
back. Us. We've got Nick
Here.
again.
We've got Nick, fan favorite Mr. Nick. Here to
Actually,
talk
though.
actually, genuinely. Here to talk about the dark powers of Dol Guldur slash the
Yeah.
Dark Denizens.
The
The
dark
Dark
the dark
Boys.
ones.
The
The dark
Dark Lads.
lists.
Very spooky
Uh
time. Spooky time for a
spooky
spooky man.
spooky time for a spooky man. Yeah, look, we're getting to the fucking pointy end of lists we haven't tier listed, and
We
it's one of
thought
the last few ones.
it really is. What, there's maybe like 4 left or something?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, so wow, I can't
Not
believe
many
we've been
big
doing
ones.
this for 2 years.
Yeah. Not many big ones left too, I assume, fellas. Hey,
I
you've
don't.
done all the
Uh,
major ones.
The biggest one I think we've got left is the Shire.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
right.
okay. Yeah,
I keep
that's a doozy.
forgetting we haven't done the Shire.
Yeah, I got real confused. Thought we'd had done the Shire, and somehow we hadn't. I have no idea how.
Oh.
But yeah, that's kind of the biggest one
Anywho,
left. But
we are or we are not here to fuck spiders. So let's dive into the tier
speak for
list.
yourself, mate.
Mm.
I'm here to fuck one of them.
Ooh. Hello.
All right. Yeah, the fucking dark denizens of Mirkwood. This one is one of the first lists we've done where we're just going to throw them all into the one thing, which I think actually no, maybe we did that with Army of the Dead. But
We
yeah,
might have
just
done.
I don't remember what we did for them, but this is an interesting little list.
This is a one that I actually really want to start running in the near future.
It's one that I want to
It's-
love, but
Yeah, it's fun. It's powerful. It hits hard. Terror across the army. It's strong.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it is. I mean,
Well,
it's good, but like, yeah, look,
it's
I mean, the major issue with this list is one hero,
yeah.
3 might, no fate, D4.
Did Cal? I know he definitely podiumed, but I can't remember if he won the tournament or not when he played Dark Denizens.
I don't remember.
He definitely
Like
podiumed.
she is powerful, but there's
Yeah.
just some really big problems with her.
Yeah,
But we'll start with easily one of the most powerful models in this list, and it's the
Batswarm.
fucking Bat Swarm. I mean, Bat Swarms are Bat Swarms, guys. I don't know if we
Yeah.
have to
The
talk
only
too
thing in the
much
game
about
that
them.
rounds a statistic downwards.
Yeah, I have to suggest it being one of the better units in the game. That
Yeah.
ability is just so powerful.
Yeah, it's the ability to be able to fly,
Hmm.
and then just hit a hero or whatever, and then just like 90% of the time, that hero is now not able to win that combat.
Yeah, making your
One of the
opponent
other
use valuable resources in their own troops to create anti-fly formations. Make sure heroes
Yep.
can't get touched by the bat swarm. It's very, very
they're
good
quite powerful.
value.
They're even handy in just your regular battle line setup, just to fly behind that hero you're trying to kill and trap him as well. So
Yeah.
that ability to fly over a line and trap something, their only weakness, obviously, or their big weakness being their low courage, means that if
Yeah.
you need to charge a big terraforming hero, that can be quite unreliable.
That very, I've had that problem a few times with them. That could be, I mean, in Moria that can be counteracted with Drusag, which is obviously lovely. But yeah, less counteractable, unfortunately, in old Dark Powers. But Dark Denizens, whatever, they struggle with courage across the board. To be fair, so that's the kind of.
I also love the anti-heroic combat power that this bad boy has. You're just flying into a hero and going, "Are you going to do 4 wounds?" No, because you got 3 attacks.
Yeah, unless they're mounted, they're not doing much damage to a bat.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
They're very, very good models.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
The foulest of the bards, the smelly boys. They got good noses.
Smellies.
Little smelly boys. Little sniff you around the corner action.
Actually, it's fell sight, not fell nose. These motherfuckers can just see through walls.
X-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, who knows? I think
Are they are otherwise the same as a normal Warg, aren't they? Are they
I think they're
stat wise, yeah.
an
No.
extra point above them, aren't
One
they,
extra
as
point?
well? Yeah.
Well, they cost an
Worth
extra point for fell sight. That's
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
side, yeah. No,
but that's
worth
it.
that.
Yeah.
Well, fell sight's a fun rule. I don't think it's anything super amazing.
I
But
mean, it
it
can
is-
definitely be really handy for an army that's really low courage. If you just throw up behind like a big pillar or whatever,
Yeah.
and then your opponent comes forward, you just like boom, coming around
Actually,
the corner, hitting.
You know what I would have loved for my Wagmar if I was running just fell Wargs?
Yeah.
That's when fell sight would be amazing. But I think fell sight's really good just when your opponent's got that one model that's sitting behind that building that they want to have protected that turn, or they want to set up for their positioning for next turn. You just go, no, you're gonna
No.
stay here for another turn. Or if I
Yeah.
get lucky, you're gonna
Yes.
take a wound. Yeah.
Do you think the fell Warg as well almost creates the base for this list? Now I know spiders are the big
Yeah.
reason that you play it, but fell Wargs being your cheaper model,
Yeah.
they're often or they can be used as like your chaff.
They are,
Mm,
yeah. They absolutely are your chaff in this list. Like, they
Yeah.
are the way you get actually good numbers out of this list.
They are your Orc
Um,
Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
thi-
Sadly, they are the one model in the list doesn't cause terror, but other than that, oh, actually, no, sorry, the bat doesn't either. But yeah.
I think they comfortably sit in about B tier. They're not amazing. You are going to be running them,
Yeah,
but they're not
yeah,
anything special
They're
for
not-
you.
Yeah, they're not the exciting toy in this list, are they?
they
No.
are not at all. No, they are a solid, fight 3, strength 4, very very good, but yeah, just they are not the reason you're running the list.
No.
Giant spiders, however, I love these little boys. They're a lot of fun.
Little. Yeah.
Little spooky, creepy curlies. I love them. 2 attacks, fucking strength 5, poison fangs, the rerolling ones. They are really good.
Yeah.
They are.
Like their biggest downside, I mean, lately, like they're definitely their biggest downside is the fact that they only fight 4, because now they, run into
True.
Easterlings and die.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of armies now that can get to fight 4 and 5 very easily.
Yeah.
A lot of armies.
Very easily. Yeah. I mean, the majority of armies, I mean, the tournament we went to recently, the majority of them fight 5.
Yeah. There was, what, 5 elf armies?
4 or
There
5
were
elves, there was Beornings, there was
Easterlings,
Easterlings,
Beornings.
there was Gondor with Banner, yeah.
And he had Gondor of Banner. Ben had a fair amount of rangers and sick guard.
Yeah, they were
guard, so lots of fight 5 running around there. So I think with just with the fight economy, I think this list suffers from all of that, which is a shame.
A big advantage with this model, and similar to your Beornings there, Sean, is the 2 wounds. So they can be surprisingly tanky. That second wound isn't always going to happen.
No.
So they can hold up on a front line.
Yeah, the biggest thing the Beorning has over a fucking giant
D4.
spider though is that just extra defense. That one extra defense.
Yeah, these guys get wounded by a lot of warriors very easily.
Yeah.
Warriors shooting, all kinds of shit. Yeah.
It's very, very fucking surprising how good D4 is. Like it's almost a sweet spot. It really is. So
it's like it's D4, D6, D8, that kind of stuff are all really, really good.
yeah.
Just for defense against warriors, especially like a lot of strength 3 lads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah,
the strength 5, 2 attacks, and venomous fangs, is that reroll 1s?
Yeah, reroll 1s, yeah.
Oh, sorry, poison fangs, reroll 1s, yeah. So
yeah,
their damage output's pretty good if they can.
Yeah, really quite good. I can't help but compare them to a fucking Beorning, and they suffer there.
Yeah.
When you other than the movement.
Oh, true. Same points, yeah.
Yeah, same points. The biggest thing they've got is the movement over a Beorning.
Yeah. They don't have access to venom in this list, do they?
Not in this list, no. No, because you have to have Ashrak to have
to get venom
back spiders.
Damn. Do love that.
I was playing Shelob a bit more recently, and that swift movement and the large movement range can be
Yeah.
incredibly powerful for just going,
Yeah.
I'm going over this. So
Yeah.
quite often when you're playing around barriers or trees or even like rocky outcrops and that sort of thing, opponents try to use terrain to their advantage and wedge themselves in. But when you can all of a sudden go, I'm going around this, and they just go, oh
Yeah.
shit. It's a mechanic in the game that you're not really used to playing against. So
Yeah, no, that is definitely a huge bonus of them for sure. Like especially being able to get into the back lines. Like you could have your wargs charge at the front, the spiders wrap around the sides or the back, do some
Cool.
damage there.
Shit.
Yeah,
With all the big bases in that too. The big bases, they just take
Yeah.
up space. So, all right, that's nice.
they are solid. I easily put them 8 here. Like they are incredibly good.
Very, very good. Very solid. The Mirkwood Spider.
These are also
I'll tell you
good.
what. You know what kind of annoys me about the naming convention is I kind of wish these guys were the giant spiders because they're big.
They're
and the other
bigger
ones
than a
are larger.
Mirkwood spider, the
Yeah.
giant spider, yeah. The Mirkwood spiders are bigger than a giant spider, and yet they are not called giant spiders. Very silly. Very, very silly. But fucking paralyze.
Paralyze on a 5+, is it? Because it's
5+.
their shooting value.
Yeah. It's also
they-
a throwing weapon.
Yes.
So
And
they can
they've
do it
got
into
to-
combat.
And the heroes can deny that with a fate roll, correct?
No.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
can use, you can expend.
Oh, sorry, expend a fate point, same matter as if it suffered a wound to dodge the attack. Yeah, true.
So is it expend a
it's-
fate point as in just get rid of a fate point or
Yes.
actually roll it?
No, they just have to expend it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so there's no roll. Interesting. The thing that I like about these guys, and you compare it, the paralyze, I suppose, to a barrowite, these guys can do it all game.
Yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
expenditure. It's on a
Yeah.
5 up if they don't move, or if they charge, a 6 up if they're moving around. And it's very easy to have several of these guys in this list.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that those enemy heroes are sitting on their bum all game.
Well, that's it. Like, yeah, sure, they can spend the fate to resist, but if you've got 4 or 5 of these guys, you just keep doing it all game. They're going to run out eventually.
And I
or
think
they're going to have to make the choice of, I've got this fate. I'm going to spend it all and then get charged by the Spider Queen and die next turn anyway. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a good way to kind of look at this list is you've got your wargs that are that chaff. You got your giant spiders that are kind of your more elite troop. And then you've got
they're hitting power, all right?
Yeah, there you're hitting back. And then you've got the Mirkwood spiders that come in. You've probably got maybe 5, so it's not you don't have a large amount of them. But you got 5, and those 5, when they put work in,
Yeah.
they will.
I mean,
they'll do
to
some
be fair
damage.
though, you can compare the Mirkwood spider to a giant spider, and they are almost identical other than 2 fight value. Like they're still going to do some serious damage once you actually just throw them into combat as well. Like if they're winning the fight, that you're killing.
Yeah.
The Mirkwood spider, is it on a bigger base too?
Yeah,
50 or 60 mil base.
What
are your thoughts on that
60?
in terms
Like
of is that
I think
a good thing for this army, or is it now you're just huge, just
expanding?
What do you
I
think?
think that's why
it's a
you
problem.
don't. Yeah, I think that's why you taking a majority of your giant spiders as opposed to the Mirkwood spiders. One or mainly that base size because giant spiders are on 40 mil bases, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
think
So you
so.
got your cav size bases.
Essentially cav base,
Yeah, no, I'm fairly certain it's 60 mil bases for Mirkwood spiders and 60 mil for the Spider
I
Queen.
think it is.
I'd
Yeah, I
say
think
so.
so.
I'm fairly certain they're on the same base size, but yeah, they are bigger base sizes for sure than the giant spider, which lends itself to not taking as many of them for sure.
The other risk of them is if you do put them into combat, it means more enemies can charge them from the front end.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you
Yeah,
only fight 2, that can be painful. So yeah, my sort of
Yeah.
opinion is the giant spider is your hitter or your elite troop, if you like. Your warg is your chaff to hold everything up, and then these guys are your support hero or your support warriors, like a sentinel would be, or a barrowite would be. Or what's the other guy that ain't marked yet? The spectre. That's like your support models. I think it's sort of how these guys want to line up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but like once it does get down to the nitty gritty, they can still do some serious damage.
Absolutely. Still 2 attacks. Still strength 5.
Yeah, still got poison fangs. But yeah, I think they're easily they're up in A tier as well. They're
Yeah,
just
without a doubt.
Yeah,
a solid boy.
I sort of agree with having the giant spider just fractionally ahead of him too, because
Yeah,
I think you take more of the giant spider
absolutely.
as your as your front line almost.
Yeah, no, they're your troops basically. They're your they're your elites, and then you've got the Fellwalkers just behind them. But yeah, no, that's yeah, God, I like the list, but I just always look at that D3 and then coming up to D4 on their big only hero.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
where they're gonna suffer a lot, especially with shooting. But at least there's a bit of shooting counterplay with the Spider Queen.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, she can do a little bit of shooting counterplay. So yeah, Spider Queen. I mean, she's really good. Like
she is
fight
that list. Let's be honest here.
6, 3 attacks on the charge, knockdown, all that kind of shit. I always look at that D4 0 fate. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah,
so it's so unfortunate.
she's almost
only
like
3 wounds.
almost like Gulavhar in a sense that she's not I'm gonna go balls to the wall and throw this at something, but it's like
Yeah,
a surgical precision scalpel that you go,
you've
all right,
really got to be
you've
careful.
got to, yeah, this is where she goes. You need to think a few turns ahead and
Yeah,
try and predict your opponent's moves, and then if you get it just right, she will, yeah, which is
yeah,
Yeah, she plays well too with the paralyze from the Mirkwood Spiders, because I would
she
imagine
does.
that you don't want to be using your might for striking. You probably want to
No,
use it to move first. So if you're paralyzing enemy heroes,
yeah.
then she can just jump on them and destroy them. That,
All
and
bat
with
swarms.
bats as well.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
bats as well, then you can lower that because she's fight 6. Strike doesn't matter.
yeah,
So I'm
exactly. Yeah.
assuming then that your 3 might points are going to be heroic moves. That would be the best way to play it, and maybe heroic
Yeah.
defense if you get into a bit of trouble.
if it gets a
Defense if
bit
you suck.
nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, she's like I said earlier, like she is a lot of she can be a lot of shooting counterplay with the broodlings. Like you're able to
The way
move
that,
her
yeah,
10.
you
You
move
move
her
her
10,
10,
they
you spend
spawn
the will.
3.
They spawn 3 inches ahead of her, and then they can move 10 as well.
Yeah, so what's that 20? Was that 23-inch movement, which is
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
Plus
most
the
of the
width
board,
of the
to be
base,
fair.
plus the width of the base, which I think is what gets them like 24 point something inches.
Yeah,
Which means
it's true.
you can start your turn just outside of shooting range, like 24.1 inches, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Spawn those. So she moves forward 10. They spawn within 3, so they can be the edge of that 3.
Yeah, so
and they
3
can-
and then a 40 mil base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
The
the
other interesting
whole.
play for them is
It's
the
similar
other
to
interesting
the
play
whole
for them is,
Bjorn.
Boy.
yes, the way they spawn up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar to Bjorn in that where it's sudden it's like, oh, that first turn where I'm transforming, cool. My bear's moving about 10.5 inches.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's
She's
it. The other thing that you can do with her on that like last turn, grab some objectives, is throw the broodlings out, because if you've got 2 back objectives that you're not at, and then last turn, all right, let's get these, throw them off.
yeah.
Courage 2, I assume, doesn't matter if they're coming on that turn, because she will have passed her courage if they're broken, I assume. So she will then give them that, and they run off and grab objectives. So you've got
that would be
really
my
long
understanding.
range objective grabbing too. Reconnoiter as well, I assume.
Sure.
Drop them, spit them out, and they're moving 24 inches, which is half of most of the boards that they play on.
Yeah.
That's 3 models you can fly off. Not that these guys have mobility issues, but
No. Reconnoiter is pretty good for these guys anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that then kind of runs into a slight issue with is like that's her 3 will gone. She's only courage 4, so like if she's trying to stand fast, it's pretty rough. Or if they've got any magic on the board, that's a bit rough as well. Yeah.
Me and Cal lost a
Yeah.
game because she ran away at that Red Alliance doubles tournament.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Game 1, she booked it. She just was like, yeah, I'm done, and we just lost the game. So Yeah,
Yeah.
that courage 4 hurts.
The Moria Shaman has Fury Spider, doesn't it? So he
That
would
would
help
work.
her, is that right?
Yes.
Because I think he works with Shelob, so it's the same thing. It's just Spider. It doesn't have a Moria
Yeah, no,
keyword.
because they've got, well, it's the keyword is spider, and she's got the spider keyword. Yeah. So yeah, no, Ashrak and Druzhag would work against her as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other benefit of those boys as well is you can have the fucking Druzhag can have his courage. You could prop courage off Druzhag on bat spiders and wargs. So he like
really
allying a Druzhag into fucking Dark Denizens is fucked.
What
really
what do you lose? This army bonus is just the dead army bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. So Wargs do not need hero models to lead them if they number 6 or more. Warbands composed entirely of spiders, don't need anything to lead them with 2 or more models. Bats, I think, is 1 warrior takes the captain. Yeah, so like, yeah. Just actually no, I don't think bats can lead themselves, but still.
Yeah, but
you still got 15 slots.
15 slots in her, and then yeah, you could just throw her and fucking 15 spiders or whatever into a Druzhag list is pretty nice. The only issue there is that you've got to have like Derbers or whatever, because they're yellow. But yeah, like that's a really fun little bonus that they can have. It's annoying how well those guys work together and can't really be in lists together.
Well, the interesting thing is your army bonuses in that matchup or that combination, you don't really care for them, do you? So you can.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Quite well. And I was going to say on that note, I think her, the Spider Queen, is up there with Suaden as one of the most allied models in the game.
For sure.
She's everywhere these days.
Yeah.
Absolutely everywhere.
Very good model to drop into some big hitting power.
Well, I want to grab a model and just throw into a whole bunch of fucking lists. I've got a couple planned.
I think without a doubt she's sitting top of S tier.
Oh, I think the problem is obviously like you have to take her, but like, yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'll put her in there, but like, I mean,
when used well, yeah, she's. It's not a beginner army or a beginner model, that is for sure.
Yeah.
But
with defense 4 and 3 wounds, a hero, a 3 attack strength 4 hero can kill you on 4s.
Yeah.
They would not be too upset about putting a might or 2 into that as well.
Not at all. If it's just to murder her, absolutely. Yeah, it's just that, like, yeah. The other huge benefit of fucking Druzhag is that he's got also Fury Spider Batwag, so you channel that, and suddenly she's actually got some Fury saves and shit like that as well. So like, yeah, man. Also fantastic for Shelob with fucking survival instinct. But yeah, I really like Dark Denizens, but it's really just every time I look at this list, it just never feels like an army. It feels like an alliance. Like it feels like something you kind of throw into other lists. Like they really, I like Ethan's been running it, but like running it relatively well as well. Pure, but fuck, it always doesn't really look very good pure. I really can't ever bring myself to run it pure.
It's one of those lists that I really want to run, but I just. In a similar way to you, it just kind of just doesn't tick all the boxes for me, and I push it to the wayside and look at other things. But it is something that I really want to do, but I just haven't brought myself to do it yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh well,
let's we'll move on to the next one. The reason Mr. Nicky Franklin is here.
Oh right. So yeah, the whole reason old Nicky Franklin's here. We've got the dark powers of Dol Guldur.
Now, maybe to preface, this will be based around them in the Dark Powers list as opposed to
Yes, as
in the
opposed to the
Legendary Legion, which is what Nick runs very, very, very successfully. So successfully that he's already anticipating a win at the next Legacy tournament with them. He's
Yeah.
already asking the TO for a particular prize for first place. So,
Yeah. No. So even the Legion obviously gives them a lot of really good tools, but even outside the Legion, I think these guys have they've got some legs.
merit.
They've got some
Yeah.
legs.
I will quickly touch on my opinion on both, but only quick. And the reason is it actually really does flip up, in my opinion, the order of how you take them. But yeah, obviously focus on the Dark Powers of Dol Guldur.
Yeah. The other thing as well is that there's a couple of models in here that obviously need to be taken as a pair. The Abyssal Knights are the big thing. Just because if you only have one Abyssal Knight, it's useless.
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's still obviously a fight 5 2-attack model, but you're not getting its special rule. Just so to take any other fucking Nazgul at that point, you need to take both Abyssal Knights. That's the biggest preface there.
They do still have the Elven made weapon.
That's true. That is true.
It has its place. It has its place, but certainly, I think you would only ever take them with two because
if you're taking one, you might as well. Like, yeah, the special rule's so good. If you're taking one, you might as well take two.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. Like, what? Like, make that room. Make that room in your list. If you've got one, you might as well take advantage of that special rule, which is really, really good.
Yeah, Nick Franklin won our legendary game because of that bloody rule.
Yeah,
It was huge. It was
that sneaky point of might on the other side of the table. I forgot about.
Yeah, yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, the ability to move across the entire board is unique to these guys. There are models in the game that can move up to 24 when you link up some shenanigans, but when you can use these guys to jump across the board, I've had them jump from one end of Storm the Camp back to the other to defend my base, things like that. Nothing else in the game can do that. Yeah. Nothing else in the game can do things like that. So
no.
Within the Dark Powers list, I'm honestly not sure if I would take them. Let's pretend you're playing at 800 points. To me, I honestly wouldn't take two. I would consider one if I thought the Elven made weapon would be handy, just for a striker to tie up heroes or something like that.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know if they have a place. I don't know if their special benefits this list.
Yeah, so like the big thing is obviously in the Legion, you take them both because you're taking most of Nazgul anyway, and so having them fucking bamf across the board constantly is really
they're
nice.
A big mobility piece. They're a big mobility.
Now, which one is the very first one on the runner thing?
That is the
Abyssal Knight. They all look the same. The only one that I know is
racist.
Who is Kamul. The rest of them are.
No, that's fair. I mean, the huntsman's very obvious. The headsman, I mean, is obviously very fucking obvious as well.
Big axe,
big chop.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So no, like, I think you're right. I think spending 150 points or whatever. Yeah, like honestly, it's not the worst. Like that's two Elven made weapon strikers that can come back and bamf around the board. It's pretty solid. Yeah. It's still pretty solid.
Oh, they're still good. They're still good, but I think there are better options. In the Legendary Legion, they're so good. You just take them. But I'm just in the Dol Guldur list. I'm not sure you get as much out of them. Still two attacks nearly.
So are you thinking a C, a B?
I'm thinking at least B.
Yeah, I'm thinking B or C. I'll leave that part of it up to you guys. But yeah, to me, they're down the list in the Dol Guldur list.
Even 150 points, like you're getting 4 might, 2 fight 5, strength 4 strikers, 2 attacks that can keep coming back. And then the only thing is, I think the biggest issue with them obviously is that you then have one kind of in a weird position the whole game. That can, it might be a beneficial position, like, in Storm the Camp, it's defending your camp, or it's like near a relic or an objective or whatever, that kind of thing, like, can be really handy. But yeah, I think you're right.
What I had intended to do with them against Sean in that game you were referencing before, I actually had one of the Abyssal Knights. We were playing Seas Prize, and I had one of the Abyssal Knights just run up the board. So if I had ever gotten the prize off of Sean, I'd have given it to my other Abyssal Knight, which was just in the mix. So I just gone to the other side of the board and just won.
Yeah, look, I think basically, I think you're right. Like they're a solid addition. It's really good, obviously, to the Legion, but it's only really like if you've got some points spare for this list, for the regular list.
I do agree. I just think there's better tricks in Dol Guldur.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, the Hunter Orc Chief Captain.
Yeah, Hunter Orc Captain. I had a thought. While we were waiting, I had a thought. This is a 50.3 attack, 2-handing lad.
With 2 might.
With 2 might. I mean, it's not the worst.
No.
Because you leave him on foot, give him a 2-handed pick, and then just throw him at troops.
I think, right, this is one of those lists that if you're not taking the Hunter Orc Captain, or you're not taking the Gundabad Captain, just play the Legendary Legion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Say fuck troops and just play the Legendary Legion.
There's kind of no point in playing this less pure if you're not taking the troops or the captains and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things this guy does bring along with the Gundabad Orc Captain is the Rogue March, if you do want that. So I don't believe any of the Wraith heroes get that. So if you do value March and a bit of speed in the list, that's where these guys may.
So I don't think any no other heroes in the
except for the
list.
other captain. Yeah, just the captains.
Yeah, which I'd like a solid like if he's on foot, or if you want some cav, like you throw him and a couple of Hunter Orcs running around. Like he'll do some work. Do some work.
Without a doubt.
They're solid, but I think probably
maybe just mid tier. Yep.
I think it's a solid.
I'm okay with that. I think they still hit as hard, if not harder, than any of the Nazgul. The downside is
they don't come back.
They don't come back.
I think honestly, like, and I think it's going to be probably a similar thing with like the majority of the Dark Powers list is like. You can run it, as pure outside of the Legion, that kind of stuff, and I think it'll still do all right. But anytime you look at it, Dark Powers, and if you've got those Nazgul, if you've got the Necromancer, it's like fucking run the Legion, absolutely run the Legion. It's so much better, so much more going on for it.
Yeah. If you like the play style of all hero lists, it is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, I think really, really solid though.
Now on to one of my favorite models in the game, and I love the profile as well. The Castellans of Dol Guldur. Oh, I love
such a good looking lad.
This is me and Liam were talking over the weekend about my sudden addiction to playing armies that are just like one type of unit, and this is one of those armies where I'm like, just give me the Necromancer and just Castellans, and I will have a fucking blast.
And you could still do that in the Legion. You could still do that in the Legion. And fuck me, like these guys are actually so cool. I really like them.
Just I've got however many fucking will. Good luck trying to kill me. Like, yes, I lose one a turn, but I can use it as fate as well.
They become quite a tank to hold up big heroes that want to try and combat around, because with 12 will, you'll lose one Will of Evil. You probably need to be dealing 5 or 6 wounds to them to have a chance of killing them.
Yeah, and even then,
that's a tough ask.
Yeah,
so these guys are your heroic combat block. The other thing too, Strength 5. There's a lot of D7 heroes that don't want to run into these boys.
No, Strength 5, Fight 5 as well. Like that's still really good for 40 points. Is a really good profile. Like that is a really, really good profile for 40 points. 45, you give him Mogul Blade, and suddenly, they're actually kind of scary to throw your heroes into.
The
Like,
Morgul Blade, I think the Witch King from Mordor can take that as well. And you probably don't see it as much on him just because you don't need it with Fell Beast. But these guys with the Morgul Blade pair really well with the Necromancer's ability to knock fate off of enemy heroes.
Yeah.
And they just walk their way in. Something like like a Thrydan, alerts. I'm just thinking of like a defense 5 in particular, 3-wound hero, Suladan. Once his fate's gone, these guys jump on him, 1 strength 5 attack, he's dead.
And initially,
it's honestly so rough.
Like the old Morgul blades for a long time were a weapon of opportunity, of just like, oh, I've got 5 points. If it goes off, it goes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But these guys paired with the Necromancer, as you mentioned, or even just the ability to have like 3 or 4 or 5 in a list, suddenly the Morgul blade is looking really nice.
Good. Yeah.
Honestly, I really, really, really want to put these fuckers in S tier. I know they're not. I just love them so much. A tier, 100%.
A tier easy. I think genuinely, like, I love the idea of running like fucking 50 of these guys.
I think like
fucking 20 or whatever you can fit at 800 or whatever. Like, fuck, that's really good.
I honestly think like it doesn't matter if you're playing the Legendary Legion or if you're playing this list pure as we're speaking about it. If you're not running at least 2, I think you're doing it wrong. But that's from someone who hasn't played either of these lists.
At 800 points, I think that's 2 that I take.
Yeah.
And they are so good because all of the wraiths can die instantly. Like heroic combats just go off constantly. Yeah. These guys have to be your roadblocks. Yeah. The other thing that you can do well, like I said before, you can chuck a curse on Saladin. Now, the interesting thing with Saladin, he often sits in the back. All right.
Yeah,
with these guys, and again, the Necromancer, you don't care because the first thing the Necromancer does, he go in the Legion anyway, he knocks the fate point off of Saladin, and then the next thing he goes, cool, Shroud of Shadows on the Castle, and he goes straight through the lines and jumps on Saladin. Saladin's now pissing his pants. There's some real powerful shit you can do in that way. In the Legion, I want to say they're an S tier because I think you always have to take 1 or 2. Yeah. But I think in this list, their big downside is being only a minor hero. They can't actually lead much. So that to me is a big downside in this one. And I sort of agree with A, even high B. I think you might still take 1, but
I'd be taking them. I'd be taking them. Yeah, but
like
the thing is as well, like they're only 40. They're only 40 points. Like that's the thing. Like they're only 40 points. You take like 2 of them. Yeah, that's like sure they're minor heroes, but you're still like that's 80 points. You're basically getting a hero of fortitude out of that anyway.
You're getting a lot out of them.
The only thing you're really missing out on is might at that point. So like if you're taking too many, you really don't have a lot of might. But like
might's overrated. I promise might didn't just win me a tournament.
You promised 15 fucking might didn't just win you a fucking tournament. Yeah, sure. Oh my god. Anyway.
Who's this next boy, Nick? Is this the teleporty boy?
Forsaken.
No, Forsaken.
He's got the spear that can reroll wounds.
Yeah.
That is quite nice.
I used him at the 1,000-point tournament that we had last year, and last year we had that 1,000-point tournament.
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised that reroll all wounds is surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
It comes in more often than you'd think, I reckon.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. A number of times rerolls turned into wounds.
Yeah. I think it's he's also the only spear amongst the Nazgul, which is kind of interesting. He's the only lad that can spear support if you take the Legion, that kind of shit. Yeah. I don't know about him.
No. I think in the Dol Guldur list again he sits pretty low. I think it is an interesting special rule. Putting Fight 5 as a spear support can be fun, but not as powerful as a Guard of the Galadriel Court Fight 6. But
in my mind, from my limited knowledge on all of these lads, and just knowing like the very, very basics of them from going up against you once or twice, is he's not the very bottom for me, but he's second to the bottom. in terms of
There's definitely one that's worse.
there's one boy. There is one boy that is so far down the bottom that I don't give a shit what anything Nick says. He is in the hole, but we'll get to him.
Yeah, look, I
think C is good for him.
I think you're taking definitely other wraiths over him. I'd absolutely take the Abyssals over him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's an interesting one. This next captain, I feel like if I'm running pure and I can take a captain, I'm going to take the Hunter or Captain over this boy.
Yeah, I think as well.
The D7 is very nice.
That's why I like this guy. D7's nice.
The D7 is nice, but if I could just give me a two-handing captain.
Yeah, two-handing, 3 attacks on foot, or
ability to take a
charge or
warg.
whatever. Yeah, can be mounted. I think I'm with Sean actually. I think I rate the Hunter or Captain over the Gundabad one.
I think he still sits in B tier. Like, we'll just be real quick with him because he's not really that special, and we've spoken about him before. But I think he sits in B tier, but below Old Mate. You're really only taking him again if you're running pure, and if you're not.
Unless you have a point, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, no, my only point in his favour would be his D7. But I think you're right. I think in this list, all of the Nazgul, really, they struggled to kill. None of them are mounted. They can't knock things over, that sort of thing. The Hunter or Captain giving you 3 attacks on the charge and knocking shit over, he almost actually becomes your hitter.
Yeah.
So maybe, okay, no, I like the D7 on the Captain just for someone that can stay around a bit longer, but you need to kill shit. Your Wraiths won't die, so staying around's not that important.
Yeah. I will say Strength 5, though, can be good, but I think the knockdown's better than Strength 5.
Yeah, give me them extra dice.
Now the Dark Headsman, I actually really like the Dark Headsman.
What's his thing again, Nick?
I love the model. He's got an axe for one, which is always nice. The other thing is if he gets a natural 6 to wound, I believe it's D3 wounds.
Yeah.
So
that's it's another one of those quirky ones. The way that it's written. As determine to whether it the does number the of D3.
Oh, it actually says it. Yeah. Determine the number of wounds after fate points is used.
Sick, right. So that works like all the other special rules.
Yeah.
But it can be very nice against monsters.
Yep.
And again, anything else that has no fate points left.
Which you're throwing that around a lot. Yeah, I like you. Yeah, you've got a lot of ability to get rid of fate points.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And the axe, you're not really worried about dropping your defense because you're probably going to die.
Yeah, if you lose, you're dead anyway. So
yeah. So having strength 5 with him, I actually rate him a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, no, I think he is quite powerful. I've not normally run him in the Legendary Legion, but I think in this one he has a bit more play, just again as that hitting power.
Yeah.
I like him. I do like him. It's a brilliant model. The sculpt is so nice.
That chainmail coming off the helm, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's really sexy. And I think you're right. I think that it's the hitting power. He's really solid in the regular list for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of solid in the regular list, speaking of hitting power,
love this dude.
Yeah.
Also, who painted that model? Oh, it looks very nice.
Fucking pulled Sean's painted version of this out. But yeah, the Keeper of the Dungeons.
I love him.
Proto Bolg. Yeah, look, he's really solid. He's really solid, isn't he?
He's a really solid hitter.
Yeah.
He's actually an absolute wet noodle in defense.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. D6, no fate, 2 wounds. He's going to die if he loses a fight.
Yeah, so
he's not going into
very glass cannony. He's very glass cannony. He can potentially do huge damage. The strength 5 with a pick and 2-handed and burly.
Yeah.
So what's that? Strength 6 plus 1 to wound potentially. He also gets a very niche special rule against the Elven Ring Bearers, I believe, where he gets just plus 1 to wound. Potentially strength 6 plus 2 to wound against the Elven hero or the Elven Ring Bearers. What's that? Gandalf, Elrond, and Galadriel.
And then he's also got like kind of proto bulk, like I said, proto bulk, because he's got
Yeah.
that scaling little special rule as well. So
Yeah.
one model he rerolls ones, 3 models he causes terror, 5 models he rerolls all failed wounds, and on a model that is already dealing a lot of damage, if you're rerolling all failed wounds,
He should be getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting big damage. It's kind of a shame that that special rule stacks on itself. You get reroll ones, and then you get reroll all wounds. So it's kind of a shame that he didn't do it there, but it is very powerful. He's unfortunately very squishy, so you have to use him quite well. Similar to other models that we've talked about, like the Spider Queen and that sort of thing. Gulavhar, he's very much that surgical instrument. If you use him wrong, he's dead in one turn. Because he's got nothing he can do about that. Only 2 wounds and no fate. But again, I believe paired with the Necromancer, transfixing the hero that you're looking to jump into, or putting Shroud of Shadows on him, so it's harder for him to get charged, or shot at. Shooting's a big weakness. I think, he's a very powerful hitter. In this list too, he's a hero of fortitude, so he can actually lead a lot of models. I absolutely think he's got a good place in this particular list.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, because like as well, like you throw him into heroes for a few turns, he's probably getting to his five kills, and heroes, models, warriors for a few turns, he's probably getting his 5 kills, and then you throw him into a hero that, like, it's turn 3 or 4 of combat, they're probably out of fate. If
that
you're
build
trapping,
up play, baby.
if you're trapping them as well, like he's gonna murder some heroes later in the game if he's alive.
Absolutely.
Used well, put in the right spots, good planning with him. He's hard.
He's got to be alive. I think that's the defense puts him into A tier, I think, is the problem.
Yeah.
But
the fact that he is so squishy, he's a very risky play. And in the Legion, I struggle to find a place for him, because when you're playing with a 7 to 9 model army, having can die nearly instantly is very risky. But the rest of your options are near impossible to kill.
I think honestly, in the Legion, he's absolutely D tier. Like, it doesn't do anything.
I want to love him. It's such a nice. It is a very fun profile to play with, but it's so squishy.
Yeah, if you're running him outside the Legion, I actually really rate him. Like, as obviously here, I think he actually does run really well. But in the Legion,
talking about bring out the hole. Set it up, baby.
I am going to have a discussion with you on this one, guys.
I'm all for it.
The Hoyle.
Hoyle.
I've been watching a movie with some Scotsmen in it, so the Hoyle. So Kamul, in my opinion, is actually one of the nicest sculpts of a Ringwraith in the entire reign.
Yes.
It is a very, very, very cool sculpt.
Correct.
Unfortunately, he has a big downside where he has to use a 2-handed weapon.
Yes.
He gets 3 attacks, which is lovely when the rest of your models only have 2. The rest of your heroes only have 2 attacks. Him getting 3 is lovely, but he has to 2-hand. I probably used him a dozen times in the Legion, and he spends 99% of the time dead.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think in the Legion, he is in the hole. In this, where he has support from basic troops, that supplement that 2-hand, I think
even then
does move up. It's still not great because there's better options. And I know we were talking up the 2-handing ability on the Hunter Orc Captain, but I just think if you're going to spend, how many points is a Ringwraith here? 100 and something?
75.
No, 75. What? Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Did you even read? You even read the fucking things at all?
No.
They are 75 each. Now, the argument I want to make for him in the Dol Guldur list, in the Legendary Legion, he's not very good, unfortunately. In this list, he can get a spear support and he can get banners. The other thing is with these guys, we were talking before about the Hunter Orc over the Gundabad Orc. You want the hitting power. 3 attacks plus 1 to wound. That's hitting pretty hard.
Correct, but the Hunter Orc Captain costs for 50 points or 55 points.
Sure. Yeah,
I'd rather say the 20 point, 25 points. Like, I think, like, yes, I want to love him so much. Like as he said, he is such a good looking model. And I love that he gets 3 attacks because it's a list where like a lot of your heroes are only getting 2 attacks. But having to 2-hand. The other thing as well is the Hunter or Captain doesn't have to 2-hand.
That is it.
If you're in a combat with the Hunter or Captain, you can just be like, oh, look, okay, 3 attacks, not +1s, but that's still 3 attacks. And if I get a 6, it's a 6.
I do want to put him in the hole, but I think my mind is saying C tier.
It's my opinion. In the Legion, I think he's trash. Unfortunately, I do in this. I actually rate him quite highly. I think honestly, if I'm going Wraiths only for my heroes, he's almost my second pick. That's my opinion. Though. I in this list, I actually rate him. Having to 2-hand still sucks, but he still has the problem. He still has that benefit of not being able to die.
Where would you be placing him? Would you be placing him A tier?
So in my opinion, then he's. There's only one Wraith I put in front of him. I can
think of 3 that I'll put in front of him.
In this list, that's just my opinion. Yeah. I think it'd be my second pick Wraith. If I wanted to take 2 Wraiths as my second heroes, I'd honestly take him second pick Wraith. Yeah. In this list.
Go.
We'll bring him up in a sec, but I'd absolutely take Slayer of Men over him.
Yeah,
the burly boy.
They are brilliant.
They're essentially
my first picks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. Like they're essentially the same thing, except they just don't get negatives. They lose an attack, but like,
Slayer's brilliant. Slayer's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Look, we'll split the difference.
Split the difference. Bottom B.
Yeah, I just really don't rate him like at all. Even in this Legion, like I don't know. It's just like if you're only especially if you're only taking like 2 Wraiths, like one of the dudes that you have that can't die don't like sometimes will just do nothing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's I think that's where my head sits and why I think he does sit in C. He has the ability to be taken and be fairly good, but I just feel like there's other things that I would take ahead of him.
I will say points in his favor, but also points in the Slayer of Men's favor.
Cool helmet.
Well, no. I mean, yes, but no. Yes, but actually no. He is 2-handed mace, 2-handed bash at strength 4. Very nice. But that Slayer of Men was more likely to win the fucking combat and still be able to do 2-handed bash. I don't know, man. Yeah. Lingering Shadow. Here's another one I think is very different outside of the Legion, though.
This dude in the Legion slaps, and Nick Franklin fucking you scared the shit out of me in our game where I decided to shoot him and I killed him and I got very excited, and then you're like, oh, guess what? He moves an extra 3 inches. Like I move forward 6 and then beginning of next turn I move 3 inches. Like, yep. I fucked up. Yep.
Yeah, dude has a free 9-inch move if he dies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I do very much like this guy. In the outside of the Legion, maybe I don't rate him.
His mobility isn't as wow in the Dol Guldur
I agree.
list. In the Legion, it's you need the mobility in the Legion, and it can be huge because again you've only got the 8 or 9 models depending on what you build with. He can be used at the start of every turn just to plug a gap that your opponent might try to look to sneak through.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know if that. I mean, it's still handy, still a bit of fun. You can still do some shenanigans with it, but it's not as powerful.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good out in this list. I think he's really solid in the Legion, but yeah, I think I'm putting him down with the Forsaken.
I would have gone smack bang in the middle of B, to be brutally honest.
Nah, I don't think. I don't think his ability there's other Wraiths. I would actually take the Forsaken over him. Just those rerolls, failed wounds.
That is a very good point.
As opposed to just jumping about a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it benefits as much, unfortunately.
No.
In the Legion, he's so good, but in this, I just don't know if it benefits you.
Oh, we finally reached him.
Or the big boy.
The big bad Necro man.
Straight into the hole.
Straight into the hole. All right. Well, let's move it on.
Moving on.
No, fucking S tier. I reckon. Like, I still think obviously better in the Legion. 2 attacks, 2 spells, fantastic. Oh, much better in the Legion. But I think if you're running this, if you're running Dark Powers, you're throwing the Necromancer in, because like if you're not putting him in,
what are you doing? What's the point?
Run Hunter Orcs, run Legion. Like,
I think I agree with that too, because there's no sense to otherwise just not ally a Wraith and a band of Orcs,
because they're Valor.
It's that whole theme element, isn't it? Where it's like, if you're not running him, what's the point in running the list? Because it's his list. It's just a bit meh. Yeah.
It's like playing Barad-dûr and having a troll chieftain as your leader or something.
It'd just be silly. I think and he's still really, really solid, even outside.
Oh yeah, he's a menace. But
he's still got
in that Legion.
In that Legion, he's amazing. In the Legion, he's amazing. But yeah, he's still got all of his tricks. He's just not casting 2 spells, and he's not got that 2 attacks.
He gives the Wraiths the 2-up, or rather the +1 on the roll. That is very powerful. Like I said, the spells that he gets off synergize really well with the list. Being able to give Shroud of Shadows to something like, even if it was the Hunter Orc Captain, Shroud of Shadows on the Hunter Orc Captain to jump into a backline is still very powerful.
Absolutely.
Using on the Castellans, using it on any of the Wraiths. I have used it on the Wraiths numerous times to jump into things that thought they were safe.
Yes.
Shroud of Shadows is a very powerful spell. Chill Soul. I've used Chill Soul just to kill heroes' horses. Okay, 3 will on 5 up, done. There goes a horse.
Transfix, Drain Courage, all that shit, really solid.
Both of those are a 2-up, I believe. 2-up Drain Courage. Against Jeff last year, I used Drain Courage 4 times against his King's Champion. King's Champion charged twice in 10 turns.
Oh, I hate to see
that was
dude's still salty about that game.
He still fucking absolutely despises fucking Dogwood.
Man, it's got some tough tricks, and I think if you're taking the Dol Guldur list, he is the top of the list in the sense that you take him and the rest of the army works in with him. He is the big support model. He's not got the hitting power of Sauron, and he's maybe not quite as good a caster as Saruman will counterside, just in terms of rerolls and that sort of thing are quite nice. The advantage of his special rule in the Legion is when he casts a spell, he gets a free will. When you cast 2 spells, it means you get a free will for each. Because it's not like Saruman will get 1 free 1 per turn. So you end up rolling an awful lot of will in the Legendary Legion for spells. So
indeed.
Caster.
Indeed.
I don't think he could be anywhere other than S tier. He's
without a doubt.
His only downside in this list is that he's 250 points, which means that will hurt your overall numbers. So that's maybe his only downside. So you can look at like the horde. Like if you build a horde out of this list, you go 1, 2, 3 Wraiths and maybe the keeper. You're getting 40 or 50 models at 800 points.
Easy.
All right, and that's tough. That's scary.
Yeah.
If you drop this guy in, and maybe 2 or 3 heroes, now all of a sudden you're only hitting 30 models. So
for sure. I think he can make that back up.
I think you can make that up simply because of the damage and the threat that he brings. Absolutely. But
he's got a lot of
psychological factor of him as well is huge.
And if you've got a trapped hero, you throw him in with like the keeper or whatever, or even not the keeper, just like a couple of lads. Like you just throw him with that 1 attack at fight 7 and drain soul.
He in the tournament Crown and Morgul last year, he was personally responsible with traps for killing the big Gundabad troll, Bolg, Suladan,
Yeah.
Amdur, and the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah.
He was getting the final wounds on all of them, and yeah,
Guess what though? Didn't kill Boromir. Let's go.
He did not kill Boromir. Boromir never came near him.
Yeah, Boromir was too much of a fucking coward.
Did kill
No.
Syrian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
really solid.
Necromancer he's brilliant.
Yeah. All right. So what's
Now,
this? Is this a Slayer
this
of
is
Men?
the Slayer of Men. Yeah.
Mhm.
I reckon this guy's actually S tier as well.
This is the burly boy, isn't it?
He's burly,
Yeah.
burly with a
And you can take
two-handed
two.
mace, and you can
And you
take
take
two of
two.
them.
Yeah.
I just think anything
amazing.
with burly should always be S tiered.
Oh, okay. Well, then throw the keeper up there, yeah.
And let's just throw Kamul up there. And
He doesn't have burly.
It's
It
just
doesn't have burly.
It's just that what's crazy about these guys and their burly is burly. Yes, they die like that, but then they just come back. So these burly boys are never dying essentially. And burly boys like, oh, I need a bit of burly over there. Cool. I'm gonna die and then move 6 inches when I come back to life.
Yeah. Now I'm behind you.
Yeah. Now I'm suddenly behind you, trapping you. Donk.
Yeah. I have your banner bearer. Yeah, wounding on 4 is dead.
Oh, your Boromir is hiding in the back line because he doesn't want to get bashed. Oh, I'm behind him. Bunk.
Yeah.
He's off his horse.
Stick.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
In the Legion as well, these guys are my first picks, honestly.
Yeah.
They're your hitting power in the Legion. Because you can take 2 of them as well. Burly heroes for 2 attacks. They're fantastic.
Great
absolutely.
I think they're the best. Powerful. I think they're the best. They're best race. Like absolutely, hands down. I reckon.
Now, the last boy, the bitch king.
The bitch king.
The bitch king is his only thing that he just gets an extra point of might.
Yes,
he gets 3 might. Yeah, and
cool.
I want to make the case for him. I want to make the case for him also being very good in this list because he's your 3 might hero with strike. Now, I don't personally rate strike, but it is a good tool to have. And I think, is it the torturer dude, the keeper of the dungeons, the only other guy with 3 might?
Yeah, so, and obviously the necromancer.
Yeah, normally not in combat if you can help it. But
but he's gonna be your move.
But I think as much as I like strike, when you've got the necromancer running around, strike is not something you really need as much with your transfixes running around and everything. Especially,
I will argue that like just having an extra might though, especially always good. The biggest thing with the Nazgul is that they can spend might on their unholy resurrection, and so the Witch King is a lot harder to kill all of a sudden because he's got that extra might.
Good point.
That he can, like even if you've rolled 3 1s on your resurrection, he's still coming back 3 times at very least. He might be out of might at that point, but he's still coming back.
Yeah.
I think
to me, he's up there with one of the better Nazgul choices because of the extra might.
Yeah,
extra might is always handy.
I think
he's obviously got nothing special in terms of combat. So like, if you're looking for brutal hitting power, he's not really your man there. But as Sean sort of touched on too, just being a move battery, the 3 might just for 3 heroic moves if that's all you need it for. Because I do
rate it. I do rate it.
I'd
go low A.
B.
For the might. For the might, I think low A is a nice spot. Like might is, it's just it'll win you games.
Especially having 15 of it.
Especially in those late parts of a game. Like, yeah, awesome.
And might that can keep coming back onto the board.
Yeah. Oh, you killed my 3 might hero. Cool, he's coming back.
Coming back, and also he's going to be in a better position for me to actually use his might next turn.
Yeah, it's cooked. I love it.
Something that's very powerful about bulk might like that in an all-hero list, in particular if you're playing the Legion, is when you get to that late game and your opponent's now out of might because they've only brought 8 might to the 800-point game, but you've still got 8 to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
The last 2 turns, you're
It's-
going, cool, heroic move, I go first, heroic combat here, heroic combat there,
Yeah.
everyone gets heroic combat.
Yeah,
And
heroic strike, all
you're
that
just
kind of shit.
you're just burning
It
everywhere.
is solely the
You-
reason that I beat Kyron on the weekend, just because he started with 6 might, I started with 15. I drained as much of his might as I could just by calling a few silly things here and there. But then by the time the game ended, and to be fair, the 1-2 roll off, the game just kept going. And so every time he won priority, he had no might. I just went, bang, heroic move, cool. I control this. Oh, you won priority again? Cool. Heroic move, bang, I got this. And it was just that cascading effect at the end of the game where I still had, let's say, 6 might left, that I maybe even a little bit more, that I just went, cool, mine. So
Yeah,
the extra might is massive.
yeah.
Awesome.
Very, very good. Oh my god, we're still going.
It's,
Because we haven't done Warriors yet. Now, this is where it gets actually like a bit goofy, I think, for this list.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a surprising amount of fucking options.
it's what,
Yeah,
3 lists smashed into one, essentially. Dark Denizens,
Basically.
Azog's Legion, Azog's Hunters, just kind of thrown together.
Oh, actually, I threw Mirkwood Spiders in there. They're not meant to be there, I don't think.
Oh,
Not
Back-
Mirkwood, Giants.
Giants.
Giant spiders aren't meant to be there. And I don't think bat swarms are either. Why are they? How did they make it in?
Put them in the
just-
hole.
Is it just
She doesn't even
Wargs
go
and
here.
Mirkwood Spiders?
Yeah, no, it just fell Wargs and Mirkwood Spiders. I don't know how they managed to make it in here, but anyway. Ignore them.
Awesome. Bat swarm.
Hunter Omen. Bat swarms aren't in it. Just said that. Just said
I was-
that.
I thought you
Just
said,
thinking, shit, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I can think of some tricks for that.
yeah, I was
Fuck, it
gonna
would
say,
be, wouldn't it? Jesus.
all right, Hunter Orcs with bow.
Hang on, wait. I need to do something.
She doesn't even go here to you.
That's literally
Glen
what I was about
Coco.
to do.
You go, Glen Coco.
There we are. Yeah, Hunter Orc with bow. What are we doing? What is it? How does it? What is it? How is it? What is it? No, all right.
Are you
Yeah,
having a
right.
stroke?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
BT.
Look, I actually, yeah, I think it's C or even D because they don't get the +1
Oh, you don't get the
shoot
more
value.
arrows either.
You don't get Morgul arrows. Like, they've got two attacks. I guess it's fun, but
C tier.
I don't think you're really taking a lot of bows with this list, to be honest.
Nah, I think you want to haul
they-
out on your 2 attack Hunter Orc sword boys or 2 handing lads and just fucking go. The hell.
Now we're talking German.
Honestly, I think they belong in the hole. To be honest, I don't
Cool.
like. Maybe you take a couple just because you want some shooting, but even then,
A couple of
Yeah.
honesty bows.
yeah, they're an honesty bow at best.
Mm.
Yeah, they're an expensive honesty bow.
Yeah, for 9 points for an honesty bow.
I
Ugh.
love my two attack model sitting at the back of the board doing nothing all game
Yeah.
and not even hitting with
Yeah.
their bow.
Yeah, because
And then-
fucking shooting on 5s, like fuck that.
And then it flees when you break because it's only courage 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. For logs, I think
A couple here and there is a bit of fun. B tier, yeah.
a solid B tier. Because like,
Yeah, that an objective grabber, a reconnoiter.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I think there's value in some of
Take
them.
you
there's
take
definitely some
5
value.
and you hide them, and then you cap objectives. Easy.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some value. There's absolutely some value. This is
Oh, it's the Hunter Orc with his little leg.
foot banner. I ended up having this is a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot. Because yeah, look, he's a bit jank. But actually, a banner, really good in this list.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Although,
Yeah,
in saying
especially if
that,
you're doing Wraith heavy.
Yeah,
would you prefer a 2 attack banner or a D6 banner?
D7 banner. Oh no, D6. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get it to D7. Never mind.
Yeah.
I think you got to go D6 banner.
Yeah, it's honestly a little bit of a tough choice because like having a banner that has 2 attacks is actually really nice. Like obviously they're on negatives, but like I think you're a little bit more likely to stay alive. Well, I guess actually
But
no.
hear me out.
Never mind. Fucking dumbass can shield.
Shield with
Exactly.
your D6 banner.
Yeah, no, exactly. No,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. I literally like was just like, yeah, like 2 attacks have 1 attack. No, they shield, dumbass. Anyway. Regular Hunter Orcs. I actually quite like.
Yeah.
I
yes.
think it's A or B because I think you take the picks, the two-handed picks over. I guess they're 8 points. No, fuck it, 8 here.
For 2 attacks, what is it? Is it strength 4 or fight 4 with these guys? I always get it mixed up.
Strength 4.
Strength 4.
Fight 3.
The fight 3 hurts, but when they win, they're killing things.
They're for 8 points for 2 attacks.
What sort of list build are you going for when you think of this? Now, the reason I ask is when I talked before about not taking the Necromancer and going for a Horde, I think these guys are a good pick. But if you're taking the Necromancer and you're only getting in the 30 to 40 model range at 800,
you're probably going.
Is all of a sudden the D6 on the Gundabad Orc actually a better pick just so they stay around longer?
I think so.
I'd say yes, but the biggest thing is that 1, they're both fight 3. If you have more dice to get the 6 than your opponent does, then that's just as good as the defense.
Yes,
that is also a good point.
Because I think honestly, potentially 3 attacks. But if you've got a spear support as well, because Gundy spears are really good in this.
I think it really does ultimately just come down to your hero selection and what's going to benefit. Is your plan on playing a defensive style? If that's the case, I'm probably taking Gundabad Orcs.
Is the idea that you're going to defend while your heroes do the damage, or do you want?
Or
if you hoard out,
running forward. So I think it's a bit of a mixture.
Yeah, no, I still like them.
Yeah, no, they're brilliant, and they're such an efficient model. There's no argument for a second.
8 points,
The 2 attacks on 8 point model is insane, and you had the discussion in the actual Hunter Orc chat as well. But that is my only point to make there. Is depending on your list build, you go Hunter Orcs, you take a captain or 2 as one of your heroes, you march them up the board, get in the face as quick as you can so you don't get shot to bits, and you chop the shit out of them because you're probably outnumbering them still, and now you've got 2 attacks everywhere. So your weight of dice is huge.
Yeah.
But if you're going more of the bigger hitting heroes, like your keeper, and if you go for the Kamul sort of build, you do want then your Chaff to try and stay alive. And there might be play there for keeping them alive.
I will say that I think the thing is as well, like we said with the Necromancer, if you're not taking the Necromancer, you literally might as well just play Hunter Orcs at that point. Like if you are going more hoardy or whatever, play Hunter Orcs because you've got Fimble, you've got fucking Nazug, you've got Bolg,
that just synergize so well with Hunter Orcs as well. Whereas I don't think they don't get much synergy out of this. If you're not taking Necromancer, or even with him, to be honest, but.
Oh no, I still the thing is, I still think that the Gundis or the Hunter Orcs are still going to be just as good as each other realistically. Obviously, D6 is better, but these guys are still D4, which, as we've said, D4 is still a decent sweet spot for defense.
Yeah, most are still needing 5s to kill it. So it's.
And you've got 2 attacks, which 2 attacks with the ability to wound. Whereas if you take the Gundis, you're shielding. Yeah, so you've still got 2 dice there, but then you don't actually have the ability to wound if you win the fight there. Whereas these fuckers can actually fight back.
I've only versed Hunter Orcs once, and it was actually against Tim Vasquez. It was a year or 2 back now, and because he had Azog at 600 points with my Lothlorien, I actually outnumbered him.
Yeah.
So when we started face to face in the scenario, and he broke me before I broke him. So the amount of dice that the Hunter Orcs throw at you, we both broke by the end of the game, but holy hell, I wasn't prepared for that. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, squishy boys, I outnumber you. Let's go.
Yeah.
And,
this was when he was playing
wrecked.
Pits of Dol Guldur, wasn't it? With his D5 Azog.
I don't
No, it wouldn't have been,
recall,
because
but
that
I don't know if that
wasn't out at the time.
Because I know he was
It
playing
was
that
just-
for a fair while. He took that to a tournament
Yeah.
up in Toowoomba, I think it was.
Oh
But-
yeah,
Well, it was
I do
Toowoomba I
remember
versed
that.
him.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
Toowoomba-
it was
Toowoomba I
when the
versed him.
Necromancer had just come out.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the
it was
Vanquisher,
Toowoomba that I
sorry.
versed him.
Oh yeah, actually no, yeah,
Oh,
true. Pitts did
Yeah.
come out with a Vanquisher. For some reason, I was
Yeah.
thinking Pitts came out with fucking defense for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that
He-
could have been the Pitts. Yeah.
Could have been,
Um,
but yeah, either way, I was just surprised at how much they just tear you to bits. They are very, very efficient.
Yeah, I genuinely
There's,
think
there's that bat rep
there's-
where Jeff from Warg absolutely fucked me with Hunter Orcs. Just like he had a
Yeah.
mixture of Hunter Orc and Gundabad with the Troll and Bog, but it was the Hunter Orcs that put in that work that just
Yeah,
come around the flank and just
Yeah.
went,
I do genuinely
Yeah.
think that these, like, if I'm if personally, even if I'm taking the Necromancer, I'm taking Hunter Orcs, just purely on the fact that,
Yeah.
D6 is really good, but still D4, 2 attacks, and you can deal damage after fucking using
That's
those
fair.
2 attacks. I think
all
it's
right,
really good.
next, what's the next bad boy?
This is doesn't even go here. Don't talk about don't talk about that. The Gundi banner.
Yeah, if you're taking a banner, you're taking
I
this
think you're
one.
taking it.
If you, especially if you're running the Hunter Orcs,
Yeah,
your 2 attacks are suddenly technically 3 attacks. So
yeah.
you're looking
Really
good.
helps for your heroes as well. That are normally only really 2 attacks.
Yeah.
But you've got that fight value usually as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
no, the
think
banner's
got-
brilliant, and I wish you had one in the Legendary Legion because boy, it's
Yeah.
lacking it. But
Yeah.
mind you, with the success I've had, it doesn't really need it, but it would be lovely because the amount of times
It'd
you
be
roll 2
broken.
dice to get it too high, it's just,
Yeah.
But
It would be
yeah, I
bastard.
think you absolutely would take a banner, and I do think that the D6 banner is the way to go.
I'd probably take 2, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially at 800, I'd be taking 2.
Yeah, I'd find the
Um,
points for it.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I'm
I
putting
think
it at
high
80.
A,
It's
high
not-
A.
It's still just not. Yeah, it's not an S tier model yet. Like,
It
is
doesn't
there an
have
S tier
terror.
Find out. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The spearmen though, they are absolutely A tier
Yeah.
as well. Having spear supports.
Whether you're running these supporting your Hunter Orcs to technically give them 4 attacks or just supporting your
duel.
Gundabad Orcs, I think you
Yeah.
should always have a few. Maybe not a. I used to really love running
Supporting Kamal.
like a 50. Yeah. I used to like running the whole like 50-50, 50 shield, 50 spear, like 50%, 50% thing. But I think in this kind of list, like just take a few just to give yourself a few.
I'd still be
options here
probably
and there.
running a good like dozen. Like
So, oh yeah. I'm not saying run 2 or 3, but like if you get yourself maybe 10, maybe a little less, who knows? It's whatever. Just a few in there to help out with the Hunter Orcs.
your
yeah.
heroes.
And your heroes.
I will double up on that. I think again in the Legendary Legion, I would have killed to have a half a dozen spear troops in it. How important the extra dice just to win a duel is.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the argument for them to be even higher in that list than you've got them now, simply because I think they add an awful lot to the Hunter Orcs, to the Hunter Orcs, and to the Wraiths. I mean, even if you're playing with the Keeper of the Dungeons, he would love to have that 3rd attack to make sure he wins that duel.
And with so much fight 5 running around, like those fight 5 heroes, you kind of really want to have an extra dice in there just to keep them hopefully winning that fight.
Yeah. It's an extra dice to see if you wound something as well, mate. So no, I actually in this
at
list,
strength 4 as well.
Yeah. They get
Actually,
that reroll 1 thing too, don't they? Yeah, mate, I like them high.
Dwarves and elves, yeah.
Yeah, dwarves and elves, they get the reroll 1 to wound or something. Hey?
Yeah, because
you know what, I'll
give them a shield.
I'll accept S tier with them. I think with what they
Honestly,
give to heroes and everything else, I think it's well worth it.
Yeah, I think they do work really well in this list.
Yeah,
The mounted
Hunter
boys.
Orc. I think also they're coming up.
I think
like
yeah,
I
think
they're a bit expensive.
I think you're taking a few. You're not taking a lot.
Just a couple to get the knockdowns, especially on those heroes. Like if you can get a knockdown on a couple of those fights, like they're suddenly doing a lot more damage.
I think
But they're
that's what
16 points.
I think that's what's going to be what is a big thing with this list is you're taking a few of a lot of different things. So you're taking a few hunter orcs to help get that knocked down. You're taking a few spearmen to give that spear support. You're not focusing on one thing. You're going, I need a little bit of everything. And if I put them all in the right place and I use them at the right time, we're looking very, very good.
Chef's kiss. Yeah. No, they got a lot of tricks. And it's an interesting point you make, Sean. There's a lot of things that you want to take a few of and yeah, absolutely. I think if you get them in the right places, doing the right things, this list's going to rip stuff up.
Yeah.
They're 16 points though, is what always gets me about the Hunter.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Orc Warriors. It's so for a cavalry model, that's ridiculous. Like a Warg Rider is 11 base. 11 base, yeah. 13 with the spear and shield. And that's with a spear and shield, which gets them to D5 and fucking throwing weapons. And like the strength 4 on the Hunter Orc is suddenly not as important because you've got the strength 4 on the Warg anyway. So like that just cancels each other out. Like
it's almost weird that I know that they just go, all right, Fell Warg on Hunter Orc at 8 points, but they should almost go, no, we'll make it 6 points.
I agree. Yeah.
Because it doesn't add the strength 4.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Because like a Warg Rider is like way more points efficient because like that's an Orc at 5 points and a Warg at 7 for 11 points.
And you're only getting your 2 attacks if you charge. So you're losing out on a fair bit of
exactly.
A lot of stuff. So
losing out on many blades because they're mounted, not infantry anymore. Yeah, it's honestly actually like they're pretty bad.
Yeah,
mounted Hunter Orcs, surprisingly bad.
Fuck, though.
Yeah, they're really solid like models, but yeah, surprisingly like they're still good, but like surprisingly points inefficient for what they do.
Yeah.
Hunter Orc mounted banner, hey?
In the heel?
Yeah.
In the heel.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to talk too much about a banner mounted. I don't think you'd ever run this list as an all-mounted list, so I don't really know if you guys have a place.
I don't think you need a mounted banner.
Do you know what else is going into hill? This next one.
The mounted archers? Yeah.
Not wasting my time with them.
Give them an extra point. Like you can get a couple of cheeky. I actually might make them C tier. Because like you might get a couple of you might get a couple of cheeky like half moves, 5-inch moves, shooting on 6s. But there's a mild place for them rather than
there is a minute
because they'll still do the same thing as a Hunter Orc on Warg at the end of the day.
A point more expensive. Anyway,
so now these ones are actually in the list, the Mirkwood Spiders, and I actually think they're really good in this list. They are really good in this list.
You're not going to take as many as you are in Dark Denizens. You're going to take maybe 2, maybe 3. And if you get those paralyzers off, your heroes are looking very, very happy. And your Hunter Orcs are looking very, very happy.
Yeah, and so like Nick's been saying as well.
Banging in this list.
Yeah, like Nick's been saying as well, like this list kind of has a lot of like, chip some fade off and do this and that and this. Like if you've got a fucking Mirkwood Spider, actually it hits on its paralyzed and that hero spends a fate. Then you throw the Morgul Blade bloody Castellan in there, and suddenly that hero is dead.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to
one turn. No.
That was the other thing too with Kamul and these guys. So in Angmar, Gulavhar loves jumping on paralyzed heroes because they can't fight back. He just jumps on and kills them.
Auto win the fight.
Kamul now with 3 attacks +1 to wound doesn't have to worry about winning the fight. It just jumps on with 6 dice to wound him. So
incredibly
this fight can pair well with something that hits hard.
Honestly, I think it's actually S tier in this one.
I think once again, as I mentioned before, you're taking a lot of different little things, and these are something that you're definitely taking.
I'd be taking at least 2 because just that possibility. They even
20,
just
20 points.
They are 20 points still. They are 20 points.
So no, like that's numbers for what they can offer. You're feeling really good about that 20 point.
Just the 5 or 6 up paralyzers, and then just being able to chip the fade away, those heroes are like, you are really having to manage your fate quite tightly in this list, because and then Chill Soul, Drain Courage, Drain Will, or
Everything
whatever the
else,
fuck.
yeah.
Drain Soul, that one.
And linking up with the Kamul comment and the spiders, these next Hunter Orc would be best mates with one of these paralyzed spiders. The two-handed Hunter Orc. For the exact same reason. Here I order me a fight.
9 points rather than 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Two plus ones to wound at strength 4. Like, they're literally, that is exactly the same as what Kamul would be doing. Except one attack. One attack less for 9 points.
Yeah.
As opposed to 75. No might and all that to throw behind it, but still. That's silly. I think we're gonna put the Gundi shields in A tier as well, just because I think that it depends on how you're running the list. Like, are you going to be trying to tank, or you're trying to attack? But I still think a Hunter Orc's better.
I definitely lean towards Hunter Orcs myself. So yeah.
Yeah, man, you go.
No, I was going to say the only like major thing that the Gundi runs over the Hunter Orc is an extra courage.
What's that, courage 3?
Courage 3, which can really help. And in a list that doesn't have like shamans or anything like that, so the Hunter Orcs will really, really struggle to charge against a lot of things. On
the courage talk, now everyone knows I'm not a big fan of Warhorns. This is a list that, one, I want to take a Warhorn, but at the same time I don't, because there's so many expensive things in the list. We're looking at Castellans, we're looking at wanting to take 2 banners, we're looking at Mirkwood Spiders, 250 point big hero. Do you have those 30 points spare? I just don't think so, but I want to take one. It's a
tough call.
It is one of those things where I
agree. I think the list kind of needs it.
Yeah.
Because this is also like the even the Mirkwood Spiders, that kind of stuff, they're on the courage 2. The Wargs are on the courage 2. A lot of your troops, almost every single one of your troops, other than the Gundis, are courage 2.
I guess you do have those high courage heroes in the Necromancer and the Nazgul and whatnot.
For when you break.
When you break, yes.
Is that going to be enough?
It's going to be enough for when you break.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, if you go up against the Terror army.
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. I think you kind of gotta. It's a tough call.
I think we just slapped this one in B tier in the sense of, hey, we want to take it, and you should take it, but
risky pick.
The risky
pick.
If you're going for the Horde build, which again we're sort of going, why would you do that? Just play with the other lists. But if you're going the Horde build, I think it has much better value.
Oh, for sure.
Because you've already got the model count that doesn't hurt you as much, but then all of those models are benefiting from it.
Yeah.
Because what's a Warhorn, like 30 points or something?
30 points.
Yeah.
So really
38.
You want to be getting 30 plus models with +1 courage. And is it so 38 in total? Yeah. I find it hard to take Warhorns in most lists. I do agree that there's a place for it in this. I want to quickly jump back on the Gundabad Orc too. I think I was going to
say, Sean really did.
No. I definitely did, but it felt like a nice.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just want to quickly say again, just to double down on the point that I think those 3 boys are quite interchangeable, and it depends on the build that you like. My playstyle generally is a higher defense.
Yeah.
So I like the Gundabad Orc, I like the higher defense. I'd like to have a few of the Hunter Orcs. Yep. Whereas there is absolutely a way to run it where it's just a horde of 2 attack boys that are just going to rip shit to pieces.
Yeah.
You don't care if you die here and there because you know these guys are making their money. So there's a good way to run it either way. And I think, A tier is correct place for all of them, and they just interchange depending on the build you're running.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And yeah, like just that. Yeah, I think if you're running the Warhorn, you kind of have to you drop a Castellan, or you don't take the Mirkwood Spiders or something. Something's got to give at that point. Like it's got to be like maybe you're not taking any mounted warriors or whatever, or you're downgrading downgrading a Camul to a Hunter or Captain. Maybe
I'll be honest. Thinking about this. I think I want to drop the mounted Warg Riders, Hunter Orcs down to C.
It's just that 16 points. I mean, 16 points. Big.
They're losing a lot of their stuff that they can have on foot. Yes, they move fast and you get the knockdown, but fuck me! Like the
more you look, the worse they are.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're too expensive. They're too expensive for not doing enough. Like, yes, they're giving knockdown. I think that's the only thing, though.
That's it. Maybe take 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know, just for that little bit of knockdown here and there. But I'm not liking it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's our lists. We go fucking Denny's.
Denny's for some food. The heroes.
Yeah. I think I'm just trying to think of I think all those heroes. I want to actually do this.
Yeah.
So I'm rating the Hunter Orc Captain over a lot more of the Wraiths, I think, at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, especially if he was mounted, he's then your hitting power there. Even if he's not, you're giving him the pick, and then he's still got 3 attacks. Like, I actually really rate the Hunter Orc Captain in this list quite a lot. Is it above the Witch King?
No. Oh,
no. Can I add just one more little argument onto Camul? So I'm going to try. All right, so.
Sorry, out of nowhere. We're talking about the Witch King. But what about Camul? Have you thought about Camul? What if Camul... Look at what Camul...
So, currently, you've got him below the Abyssal Knight. Right? Now, the Abyssal Knight you have to take 2 of to benefit from his special rule. Elven Blade aside.
I will say, I think the Elven Blade is what's pushing me above. Just because you've got a fight 5 hero with Elven Blade that can strike with armies that are spread out a lot that have fight 5, especially like you're coming up against Eastlings or fucking bears or whatever. I actually think even one Abyssal Knight still does more than Camul.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the Forsaken.
You're picking him then on the Elven Blade, not necessarily a special rule, because it's not really that important. Fair enough. Right.
I think from our chat when bringing in the Gundabad Spears and the Mirkwood Spiders, I think that did bump Camul up a little bit for me. Solely on that ability to go, cool, here's another one of those heroes in this list that is a scalpel, and if you can have him used correctly alongside the Mirkwood Spiders, or even a spear support at worst, suddenly he's looking a little bit better.
I still just...
Because I think if you get that paralyze off an hero and get him in there...
But the thing is, you look at this, like, you look at it, it's just, the Camul is just a worse version of the Slayer of Man, that, sure, he has an extra attack, but I'll take a Slayer of Man over, like, if I have one Slayer of Man, I'm thinking about the next Nazgul I'm taking. It's like, well, I'll take 2 Slayers.
I'll take another Slayer.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
I do get that argument.
He does the exact same, they do the exact same thing as Camul does. If you've got 2 of them, you've suddenly got 2 strength 4 burly hammer boys on either ends of your lines, dealing so much damage. Whereas Camul comes in, if you're only taking Camul, it's just like,
I think he just stays where he is. I think he just stays where he is.
Really good. The spear is solid, but like, you give a spear to a Slayer of Man, he's got 3 attacks. I don't know. I just, every time I think about Camul, it's just like a Slayer of Man is just better.
I think Camul just stays where he is.
Hand and a half, nice.
hand and a half mace would have made him absolutely probably A tier, I'd say. It's just the fact that he has to two-hand and he doesn't get any kind of burly. Ugh.
Even a
Gross.
natural 6 or something like the Knight of the
Yeah,
Whitetail.
if he had that, that would also be really nice. Like the Knight or Grimmy has. Yeah, that would be really solid. Yeah. I just you know? All right, look, let's there we go. There we go. He's
I'm
moved
happy.
up.
My night is made.
he's moved up in the world.
Place.
Yeah. Although now he's ruined this kind of nice. We had a line of.
Oh, you did have.
Yeah. Actually, that does. Oh no, hang on, wait. Oh, okay. So hang on, we didn't put him there. And put. Oh no. We did another. It's like playing pachinko. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Look, I think we've got a nice little list there, and I think I actually, this has made me kind of appreciate Dark Powers a little bit more.
Oh, 100%. It's a list I've never really even considered, whereas now I'm starting to think I could run those Nazgul. I could run those Nazgul without the Legendary Legion, which would be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, let's do a little Patreon break.
Wow. Thank you so much to our lovely Patreons.
They're very nice.
Here. Look at them go.
Class. Nick, point a Patreon out and say something about them.
Thank you so much for your donations as you go up the screen.
You were meant to say something like, "You're a cunt."
Don't do this.
Enjoy the feet pics.
Enjoy the feet pics.
That's it.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
I would also like to do a quick little shout out to our little sponsor, Gap
that's
Games.
right. That is a thing we have now.
That is a thing we have now. We genuinely, we just kind of threw this out as a real Hail Mary, and they came back to us. They're like, "Hey, look, we'll give you an affiliate link. We'll support you guys." And I love Gap Games.
Gap Games is great. Yeah,
so I just got an order from them during the week.
Yeah, you could have used our affiliate link if you told us.
But hey, that'll be in the link below.
In the Australia region, especially if you're in the Brisbane region, they are easily the best place to get.
Big fan of Gap Games.
So cheap, so lovely.
They've actually got a good range too, especially
a really good range.
They're stocked up on a lot of shit.
Not even just SPG, they've got fucking so many games in there. It's ridiculous.
40K, Heresy, everything else, Bolt Action. What else?
I picked up my Oathmark dwarves from them the other day.
I just got some of the geek gaming basing stuff from them as well. So they stuff a lot of the terrain and hobby stuff.
Paints, everything. Yeah, it's an incredible place. Go and check them out. Give them some love. Brett is a top tier lad.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you for joining us again, Mr. Nick.
My pleasure. Good fun, guys.
We appreciate you coming on and spending your evening with us. So,
and you're imparting your vast knowledge of these very same looking boys. We would never have been able to tell the difference between them without you.
They've been a lot of fun to actually play with as part of the Legion. All hero armies are a different thing to play with. Like Liam, you've been playing more with Thorin's company and stuff like that lately.
Different breed.
All hero lists are actually quite fun, and the legendary legions for a lot of these ones actually give them some rules that make them a bit more competitive. Like Breaking of the Fellowship's actually, Breaking of the Fellowship is actually quite fun as well. But this legion was a lot of fun to play with. It's got some really cool tricks, and if you get all the tricks working, you can murder some stuff.
I think it's genuinely probably one of, if not the most competitive all hero list out there.
It is phenomenal. It truly is.
I don't think Vanquishers is probably up there as well. But yeah, I think genuinely one of the more fun, even fun to verse, because you're killing shit as well. At least with the at least with the Necromancer, you're still killing shit, even if it comes back next turn. And you kind of always like, oh, is he gonna roll that one? Is he gonna roll that one? You're like,
Yeah. Oh, you're always clenching too. Playing
Yeah.
as it, mate, you're always clenching every roll.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then when the
But
might runs down, oh, it hurts.
Ooh, it's fun. It's always even just killing one of them. You're always like, yeah, I killed one. It's actually dead.
And there is always a big shout from the table to everyone. Yeah, I killed them all.
Absolutely.
At least like
at least it has that going for it. Whereas
they're a bit of fun.
I don't get to play. I just don't get to play. All right. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Bye.
We'll catch you next time.
Put a smile on your dial, and we'll see you in a little while.
Goodbye for today. We'll see you again.